Go ahead and call County Commission to order for a special call meeting. We do have a quorum. Members present have signed in. First item on our agenda is our prayer, and I'll ask our chaplain, Commissioner Coleman, to lead us in our prayer, and Commissioner Solomon to lead us in the pledge of allegiance.
Thank you, God, for the participation in our county. We pray, Lord, that the things we say and do here this evening will help each and every one. I say, integrity in our government, we need to be integrity among us.
For which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Brings us to appearance of citizens. James E. Nolan, speaking about property tax increase. Sir, if you'll come to this podium and microphone and state your name and address, and you've got 3 minutes, sir.
James E. Nolan, 714 McGuire Road, Newmarket. And I'm here on the tax concern because I just don't think Jefferson County knows how to spend their money. They want to go over budget on everything. They want to raise the wheel tax, raise property tax, add a wheel tax or whatever. And they've sold an ungodly amount in the last 2 years of building permits and house permits and things like that. I don't think this is the time to do that way the economy is. And I got an example right now. Last week we had that monsoon washed out along my yard there on the road there, and it's happened a year ago or so, and nobody's done nothing about it. And I left a message with the road commission, and I've got no answer back from them since last week, and there's no material there on that side of that road to fix it. I'm tired of picking up my yard for 4 hours of rock off there, and I fixed it myself with a tractor and loader several times, and you can't get no response. And this is the way the taxpayers get treated for, you know, paying the taxes they pay, and you get no results out of the commission. I don't think that's right. So I don't think we need a tax raise. I don't think it's fair to the people in this county. So that's my statement on it.
Thanks, sir.
You're welcome.
Next.
Hotel tax revenue, and the emergence of the event industry, a sector that I participate in, as many of you know. Thanks to the mayor, our county became a destination for events. We avoided the unconstitutional lockdowns during the COVID season 4 years ago. Great credits also deserved by Lauren Hurdle, our tourism coordinator. There's no finer person to deal with in terms of tourism and business development. She's on a first-name basis with the tourism business owners. The money you spend in that department produces an exponential return on your investment. By contrast, the money you waste at the Chamber of Commerce is dead financial weight. If the chamber was worth the airspace they take up, the business community would support them financially. But they're not. They're good at two things: public relations and getting their picture in the Standard Banner every week. And they can do both of those without taxpayer money. They're not worth the $32,000 per year that's suggested for them. In my opinion, you might as well take the money outside and pile it up and burn it. I submit to you that same $32,000, if appropriated to the tourism department, would produce much needed sales tax revenue for this county. And I know how badly we need that revenue. Please eliminate the chamber funding entirely and appropriate that same money to the tourism department, where it will benefit the taxpayers of Jefferson County. Thank you all for your time.
Thanks, sir. Next item on the agenda, Mr. Herndon has a list given to you of notaries and bonds. A motion would be in order if you would make a motion on your computer in a second. We have a motion in a second. Any discussion? Any requests to speak? If not, all in favor of approving these folks for notaries and bonds, vote yes. Opposed, vote no. Passed 17. Next item is mayoral appointments. As you know, we're receiving opioid money, forming the opioid task force. You approved a resolution for me to bring these appointments back to you. John Johnson, Randy Bales as county commissioners, Jeff Coffey from law enforcement, Rodney Satterfield from EMS, Tommy Arnold, education, Amber Blakely, State of Tennessee Department of Human Services for Child and Adult, Dr. Spencer White, he's a physician. All these people are county residents, and I got to use county residents to do this, to do the voting. Ex officio members would be myself, Ashley Lyons for the Health Department, and Dr. Jennifer Towerville from University of Tennessee. So a motion and a second. No request to speak. All in favor of the appointment of this board, vote yes. Opposed, vote no. Just tell Frank.
Yes.
16, 1 abstain.
I think that was in
Okay.
I mean, you're on the take of.
All right, next item. This comes directly from the Jefferson County Library Board. It recommends to the County Commission that Rex Kitts countywide appointment. First term, July 2023 through June 2026. Louise Joyce from the Dandridge area, her first term, July 2023 to June 2026. Motion and a second. All in favor, vote yes. Opposed, vote no. Motion passes. Next item is bids and quotations. You have a resolution that will authorize this, but in order to change it in our bids and quotations, just quickly, we will be hiring a full-time purchasing agent that allows the county to raise their bid limit from $25,000 to $50,000. Anything under $49,999, I think you said, has to get quotes, at least 3 quotes if possible. So this is a change to our bid quotation. We have a motion and a second. I see no request to speak. All in favor of changing of the bid limit, vote yes. Opposed, vote no. Passes 17-0. Next item that you have on your agenda is a information only. It's a report on debt obligations, interfund loan extension. There's no action needed on that, it's for your information. That brings us to resolutions. Resolution 2023-22, surplus the Register of Deeds typewriter. A motion would be, they probably give it to you if you want it, I don't know. Motion second, all in favor vote yes, opposed vote no.
Probably ain't worth that.
It passes. I will tell you, I had a service learning student from the high school that came through, and I have a member of my office that still uses a typewriter, and we asked that student what it was, and they did not know. So, anyway. I bet Miss Davis will have to turn it over wherever she's at right now, over at typewriter. Next item is 23-23. This is the actual resolution that that increases that bid limit to $50,000. We have a motion and a second. I see no request to speak. All in favor vote yes. Opposed vote no. Passes 17-0. All right, I got a note on this next one. That's probably a bad thing. Or a good thing. All right, next item is resolution 23-25. And that is appropriations, or did I skip one? I skipped 24. Let me back up and get it. 23-24 is appropriations for non-profit organizations. We'll need a motion and a second. Have a motion second. Any requests to speak? Amendments? This is the nonprofit section. This is funding your nonprofits. All in favor vote yes. Opposed vote no. Passes 14-1 with 2 abstaining. Now I'm on resolution 23-25. This is appropriations for various departments in our budget for the fiscal year 2023-24. And that's in your budget packet. That's before you. Motion and a second. We did what? And if you are going to speak, Mike Bolton said you need to turn your microphone on. All right, we got a motion and a second. What happened?
Don't have a screen yet to let us do that right
This
now.
is one for the finance committee that met on this one.
Did we do 23-24? We got it done correctly? No one, it passed. Okay. So now we're on 23-25. I have a note that the finance committee has a recommendation on it. Jesse may want to talk on it, and I know Mr. Galt said he would like to speak on it on behalf of his department. So,
I think, Mr. Bell's gonna speak on behalf of the finance committee this evening, otherwise I don't mind to go over.
I'll let you do it.
Okay. So they met and we reviewed this resolution and discussed it. There has been verbiage that's been added to it. It's page 4 of this resolution, but page 7 of your budget. Under the Student Nutrition Fund, 143 at the very top, it says be it further resolved. The very last part of that paragraph was added and Jefferson County Commission because Budget Committee had voted that all federal grants, Fund 142, school federal grants, go before Budget Committee and County Commission for approval again. So I've added that verbiage. When the Finance Committee met, they asked Dr. Arnold and myself the various issues that could be with that. The only thing is we saw we will have to call special call meetings to meet multiple months because federal funds, we have to have them match our budget before we can even spend them. and normally there's a short timeline to spend those. So the finance committee voted, and they do not recommend this verbiage being added to this resolution. They recommend omitting the verbiage.
Okay. David, go. You want to speak, you don't want to speak on the budget? This is the county budget.
This is the county, but I want to speak in reference to the rate.
This is included in the.
That's in the county budget.
That's what I want.
Yeah, okay.
David Galt, Solid Waste Director. I'd like to ask the Commission to consider at least a portion of the compensation that is proposed to be in the form of a raise. Any compensation is appreciated, but a bonus does not provide the ideal salary growth for employees. I understand the desire not to give raises to avoid the reoccurring cost, but there needs to be a balance of equitable employee compensation and being fiscally responsible. Understanding that we are public servants funded by tax proceeds, the fact remains that we operate as a business. This leads us to have to compete with private businesses regarding all of our expenses, from materials, supplies, services, and most importantly, labor. We need the ability to acquire and retain good employees. The labor market is increasingly difficult to achieve this goal. There was a time in history when a county job was coveted. That's not so much the case anymore. In the October 17th Budget Committee meeting, a motion passed unanimously for the Finance Director to include a COLA in the proposed budget if there was not to be a salary survey completed. At the May 1st Budget Committee meeting, when they received the first draft of the entire budget, which included the COLA, the budget deficit equaled approximately 25 pennies. There were a couple of committee members who voiced strong opposition to raising taxes that much. They stated that they would not want to do more than 14 to 15 pennies. The proposed budget removed all COLA and only included a bonus with a tax increase of 11 pennies. I would like to ask that you consider a full COLA, but I understand the position you are in. I would ask that you at least consider a 3% COLA, 2% bonus for full-time and part-time employees as of July 1st. This should bring the budget deficit to approximately 14 to 15 pennies that some committee members said they were comfortable with. This, I believe, would help with employee acquisition and retention, with retention currently being our biggest concern. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. So we have resolution 2325. We need a motion and a second. You did
I
what?
would like to make a motion to amend.
Well, we're gonna have to get this motion out there before we can amend it. Okay, so we got a motion on resolution 2325. That's the expenditures in the budget. So it's our second. We have a second. Now, request to speak, amend. You want to amend? I don't know what you pushed. You got it.
I'd like to make a motion as requested from the Finance Committee to amend this, to take the verbiage out, and I think you've got the verbiage from that, the exact wording.
And Jefferson County Commission.
Because doing that would allow them.
Well, wait a minute. You got a second, right? Mr.
Yes,
Byrd?
yeah.
Okay. Proceed.
That would allow them to go ahead and make it where they didn't have to wait on us to have a meeting, which would automatically an amendment put out a week out from the time that we know we have to have. And sometimes in their line of work, they've got to be able to make that decision then, to be able to give what they need.
Okay, anybody that wants to speak on the amendment? Request to speak?
Is that open to all of us?
Nope. Terry Dockery?
Yeah, just a quick comment. I for one, am willing to come to special call meetings if needed. And over the last 12 years, to be completely candid, a lot of times when we've had special call meetings, for lack of better terms, it's because of a lack of poor planning, and they come at the last minute, and they take 3 months to come to us or longer. But we always see it at the last minute. It's one of those deals, you got to prove it tonight, we got a special call meeting, and we're going to lose. Thank you.
Request to speak? Nobody else wants to speak on it. So the motion to amend the budget is to remove the approval of Jefferson County Commission on federal grants on the schools. All in favor of the amendment to the budget, vote yes. If you're opposed, vote no. Amendment passes. Fails. Amendment fails. Takes 11 votes. Okay. Back to the original motion. Resolution 2325. The budget. We'll get the screen going here in a minute, I think. Okay. So we have motion second. Any requests to speak or amendments? Mr. Johnson.
I'd like to make a motion to amend the upcoming budget to go from the 5% bonus to a 5% cost of living for the employees of Jefferson County.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? The motion is to go from a bonus to a COLA. That's an amendment. If you'll push your amendment button, Johnny, something, maybe Frank quick gabs me in the ribs up here. We have a second. Marcus Reed is second. Request to speak. Seeing none. All right, Mr. Scarlett. Or,
Now, just so I understand it, Mr. Johnson, you're saying you want to move to a raise, and you are adding back to the budget the 800 and some thousand.
It's the same money. It's 5% bonus versus 5% cost of living. It's not different money.
No, sir, it's not the same, because this goes in the budget, and you're adding to the tax rate. So I just want to make sure that I'm clear on what you're trying to do.
Well, where's the 5% bonus come from?
Fund balance.
So why would the raise
It's a
not?
one-time deal, but what you're doing is you're adding to the tax rate. Is that what you're asking to do?
I'm asking to make it a COLA to be fair to the employees.
I'm just, that's not the question I asked. I'm asking.
That's the answer you're going to get.
So, Ms. Jessie, does this add to the tax rate, and if it does, how much?
This would be a reoccurring expenditure for 5%. So, I don't have it right in front of me. It's the first one that I presented. I think it was.
101 is 775,000 plus the,
That's just 101
that's just 101, correct?
for the 5%.
And it would go to the tax rate.
Straight.
Yeah, because it's reoccurring, so it would have to hit tax rate to increase to pay for it.
was that in your original?
It was my original budget that I had presented. I'm almost there, sorry. Good time to me out.
Any request to speak while she's coming up with that? Austin Brooks, or Mark Street, sorry, Marcus.
I'd like to share a letter, not mentioning any name, by a county employee. After taxes, this county employee, who's a single mother, brings in $2,437.62. $185 a month, and it brings it up to $2,622.62. This is her expenses. Housing, and as we all know, Tennessee's at the top of the list in the country for housing costs, for rent and lease. Electric, $90, water, $45, gas, $200, food, $300, auto and renter's insurance, $185, life insurance, $22, internet, $25, pet supplies, $50 for $2,417. You can see that she does not have much wiggle room as far as making ends meet. this is a county employee. I feel that our county employees do not get the respect that they deserve. We have to pay our employees. I know I have to budget carefully to make the money that I have coming in meet all my expenses. So do they. They need it. When you look back over the last 10 years, they've been a raise here, a raise there. There've been 3 bonuses, I believe, 1 year without a raise. I don't like to raise taxes. No one does. But if we don't have the employees and take care of them, who's going to run the business for us? Thank you.
Mr. Brooks?
Why can we not use the fund balance for Mr. Johnson's motion?
Recurring expense, could you count it for something? You've only got so much money in the fund balance.
Is there a rule that says we cannot use the fund balance?
Well, the state told Grant County 3 years ago when they used theirs 3 times, that they come in and sit the tax rate.
But we could use it this time.
But you still got to account for it. There's absolutely no question at some point you have to account for it.
But there is no rule stating that Mr. Johnson's motion couldn't go through using fund balance.
There is no rule, but I'm
Okay,
telling you,
thank you.
the comptroller will come in and talk to you.
Mr. Carmichael?
Here's where we're at in the whole shooting match here. Last November, when we voted in a pay raise, that's a little over 8 cents of your tax increase at 11 cents is what the budget committee sent out. You can't do a half a penny on the tax rate, so therefore it's pretty much 9 cents. I think I'm real close to that number. But out of 11-cent tax increase, you're looking at going 15, 16, 17 cents. You ain't got that figure yet, but I think it's going to be closer to 16 or 17. But here's where we're at with this whole thing. If you're worried about the employee that's virtually not making enough money, you got to also represent the people out here in the county that ain't making it right now, that's drawing a Social Security check. We got a lot of concrete driveways and we got a lot of gravel driveways. And I mean, we got to look at an average that fits everybody. Me, I didn't want the 11 cents, but you already voted for 9 of it last year when you voted for that pay raise. Okay, now we're looking at another pay raise. The bonus is the best way to handle this situation. We all don't know what next year's fixing to be. I guarantee it'll be a lot less than it is this year. But the point being is, there's got to be an average, and there's got to be a cost of doing business somewhere. And you know, here's where we're going to be in another year. If we don't stop and look at this right now, medical insurance is going to raise to the point in the next 2 to 3 years that's going to be the biggest fluctuating in expense that we have. We're looking at 5 to 7% pretty much every year. That's where we're at. So you got to be thinking about right now, okay, if everybody's property gets reappraised next year, what's next year going to look like? Where are we going to be? In the law of averages, you got to be somewhere. But, you know, I think the biggest tax increase that's ever been in Jefferson County is 15 cents. Would that be right? I think we looked into that, and it's around 14, 15 cents. And that's the biggest tax increase ever. And it could be a lot worse. I'm not saying they don't need more money. What I'm saying is that there's people out in the county that needs help too. So if you're going to have 50 some odd thousand people in the county, you got to take their wishes into consideration too. We can't be all one or all the other. We got to hit the middle of the road somewhere. And that's where I'm at. Thank you.
Hey, do you have that number?
I do. So if we did the 5% raise, it would be 5 pennies
16.
on the tax rate. The total approximately is, which 207 isn't on the tax rate, but including 207, it's about $750,000 for all 4 funds to do a 5% raise instead of a bonus.
So that would make the tax rate 235. 235. Seeing no other requests to speak, Mr. Johnson, this was your motion. Do you want to close? You ready to vote? All right. All in favor? Mr. Chairman. Sorry.
Mr. Johnson, your motion, we're pulling the money from the same place that the bonus was coming from, is that correct?
That was my intent, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
So the motion is that 5% be a raise, but it comes from fund balance. Right? Okay.
Is that for full-time and part-time employees or something?
You agreeable with that's full-time and part-time, Mr. Reed? You may say.
Yes.
Okay. All right. All in favor, vote yes. Opposed, vote no.
She's put hers in, it's just not stuck in. Okay.
Can they not, you not get it up there if they vote? If not, we'll have to do a voice roll call vote here. His system's, they told me it was a tie, and I said, it's kinda hard to have a tie with 17. I mean, my math.
That math doesn't work.
Either got 11 or you don't. What'd you?
Failed.
I'm trying to get somebody to help me.
14,317.
All right, we'll have to do a roll call vote.
Janet Gordon.
Yes.
Joe Coleman. Austin Brooks.
Yes.
Paul Love.
Yes.
Jim Snockers.
No.
Greg Berger.
No.
John Johnson.
Yes.
Tim Seal.
Abstain.
Sammy Solomon.
No.
Ransom Douglas. Randy Bales. John Neal Scarlett.
No.
Ronnie Coleman.
Abstain.
Terry Docker.
No.
Jimmy Carmichael.
No.
Marcus Rippon.
Yes.
Heidi Thomas.
Yes.
There's no way to get to 11.
Amendment fails. 5 yes, 7 no, 4 abstentions, 6 yes. So we're back to the original resolution of the budget as presented. Mr. Snodgrass, request to speak.
I'd like to propose an amendment to add an additional 5% to the bonus using fund balance.
So your motion to amend is to add 5% to make the total, a total of 10?
Yes.
Okay. We have a motion, we have a second. Got a second, Mr. Lowe. Floor is open for discussion. Any requests to speak? Austin Brooks.
Mr. Snodgrass, is that part-time and full-time?
Yes. Yeah.
How would we do the 5% part-time bonus? Because the way Budget Committee had done the bonus was not, I mean, that was worthless.
Ms. Jessie, can you refresh us all on how we did that?
Sure, we did $250 total for part-time employees, so it was also to be paid out in 2 increments, one in August 2023 and one in January 2024. So if you have been there the full 12 months as of July 1st, you get the full amount, so you get $125 in August and $125 in January. But it's prorated if you hadn't been there a complete year at that point.
So, Mr. Snodgrass, with this motion, what would you be proposing for part-time employees?
I'll just be plain, I hadn't really thought that far into it, to be honest.
I didn't mean to
But
put you on the spot, but
I just had this percentage number.
Please don't do it percentage on part-time.
Yeah, yeah.
No, we had a good discussion on that in the budget meeting, so,
So we have 250 currently for part-time and 5% for full-time.
Are you just doubling it?
Yeah, that's it. I don't have any good math behind it, to be honest, but,
So if you're doubling the 5% bonus for full-time, if you double
yeah.
the bonus for part-time, it would go from $250 to $500. So if you double them both.
is that your intention with this motion, Mr. Snodgrass?
The intention of the motion is, obviously, we fell short of a fixed increase, as
Just trying to
Mr.
get
Galt.
discussion going.
Trying to get discussion going, but trying to give something. We have a pretty reasonable fund balance still out there that could be appropriated to at least make an effort to close this gap in the meantime, rather than have that additional 5-6 cents on the tax increase, till we can get through the next budget cycle.
My big concern is, the whole point of I think Mr. Johnson's motion was employee retention. And I don't know that we already heard from Mr. Gott, the bonuses aren't really going to retain our employees. So if we're not retaining the employees, there's no point doing anything. That's my concern with,
So you're speaking against the amendment?
I'm just speaking.
I would think that.
Hold on 1 minute. Anybody else wanting to speak on the amendment?
What is the amendment?
So only had 5%, additional 5% bonus, which would make the bonus 10%. This would be a one-shot occurrence.
So it doesn't go into your tax rate, coming out of fund balance. The gap,
And again, I didn't have a firm number for, I didn't have any number for the part-time members. Our original motion was that they would get a $250 bonus out of the budget meeting. So I'm open to discussion on that particular part of the amendment.
So at this point, you're only 5% on full-time employees.
Yes,
That's your amendment.
that's my amendment. motion.
Nothing.
No part-time.
No part-time? Or just keep the original 250?
Keep the original.
Okay. Request to speak, Mr. Carmine.
Price tag. How much money? How much is it gonna cost? If you add another 5%. Miss Jessie?
Okay.
I'm sure that's a train wreck.
So currently,
Can we get close?
so currently, the 5% one-time bonuses is about $775,000 for just general fund 101. The 5% raises and the bonuses for the smaller funds, the highway and landfill, don't vary too much from what I gave you prior to what I said they were for the raises. So, I would say the total, I didn't have it prepared just because the bonuses do vary. Would we be considering a 10% at that point on their fiscal year 22, 23 pay? And then do 5% in August and 5% in January?
No changes on it.
Okay, and on the stipulations, no changes? Okay. So we would just double what
We-
the 5%?
We're gonna double everything.
Double.
So you're right back where you was, you're just pulling it out of fund balance.
This would double what we're doing for a non-reoccurring item since it's a bonus.
And that,
A little more than 1.5 million
Yeah.
is what it would be.
Not far from 1.6.
all right. Other requests to speak? Mr. Snodgrass, do you want to close out?
Yeah, I didn't fully answer Austin's question earlier. In reference, surely it helps some. I mean, it's got to help with some retention. I've been in these situations before, and we can't go forward with the fixed cost. So this should be some stopgap in the meantime. I hope. It's an effort on our part to try to get there. That's it. Thank you.
All right, let's vote. Can you repeat your motion so that I do not mess it up?
Yes. Add an additional 5% onto the bonus, making the bonus a total of 10%. Keep the original payout conditions
For full-time employees?
for full-time employees only.
All right. All in favor, vote yes. Opposed, vote no. Failed 6-7. Back to the original budget. 2023-25. Unamended, by the way. All right, we have Mr. Bales, Mr. Stark made motion second. Anyone request to speak on the budget or make amendment? Seeing none, we're ready to vote. All in favor of resolution 2023-25 as presented, vote yes. Opposed, vote no. What's wrong?
Make the motion, we're trying to amend it, I'm gonna vote against it.
I don't care how you vote. Just because you second something don't mean you're for it.
I told him he made the motion, he couldn't vote against it, so.
You can't hear it. Y'all amuse me sometimes. Budget fails. well, does the number change because of the abstain?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 2 abstentions is equal to 1 vote.
That's right. You just need to.
Are you abstaining with cause?
It is 2 abstentions abstain for cause. Yes. And it lowers it.
Lowers
Two
the number.
lowers it 1.
50.
So it passed.
So it passes.
Yep.
It would take, you lower it by 2, and it's down to 15, so you'd have to have 8 votes to pass. Is that math correct? No.
So you lowered your threshold by 1.
Each abstention for cause. Down to 21. You would take half.
Okay.
Right.
So if there's 2, it equals 1.
It equals 1, that's right.
4 would equal 2.
Or another way of saying, if there's only 19 commissioners able to vote on something,
Right.
then the majority of 19.
So that lowered the threshold
So it passes.
by 1.
That's our reasonable second. All right, thank you. So, next item. Resolution 2023-26, fixing the tax rate for Jefferson County.
You gotta vote for that.
Need a motion and a second. Start discussion.
Need a screen.
Oh, okay, all right. We have a motion and a second, Mr. Scarlett, second by Mr. Seals. Any request to speak, amendment? This is fixing the tax rate, $2.30. No request to speak? Mr. Scarlett?
As far as fixing the tax rate, I mean, we've got to do it. As Mr. Carmichael said, the stuff that was put in last year is coming back to bear. It's got to be paid for. And what we're increasing on the tax rate is a direct result of what we did last year that was unaccounted for in the budget. We started out at 25% in the budget committee, it is down to 11. That does not tickle me yet. But it is what it is, it has to be paid for.
Request to speak? Seeing none. All in favor, vote yes. Opposed, vote no. Passes 13-4. Next item. Resolution 2023-27, approving leases of business machines pursuant to Tennessee Code. We do this every year. Need a motion and a second. We have a motion and a second. Any request to speak? All in favor vote yes, opposed vote no. Pass 17-0. Resolution 23-28, resolution to declare a surplus and to authorize the emergency medical service for Jefferson County to surplus, transfer said equipment. Have a motion and a second. Floor is open to discussion. Seeing none, hearing none, all in favor vote yes, opposed vote no. Pass 17-0. Resolution 2023-29. Resolution to declare a surplus and to authorize the Sheriff's Department of Jefferson County to surplus sale said equipment. We have a motion and a second. No request to speak. All in favor, vote yes. Opposed, vote no. Passes 15-0. Resolution 2023-30. This is the SRO grant that needs to go to the governor, I think, that's it tomorrow. Motion to approve would be in order. Second, request to speak. Seeing none, all in favor vote yes. Opposed, vote no. Passes 16-0. Interfund capital outlay note resolution, 2023-31. We have a motion and a second. Not yet. We have a motion second, no request to speak. All in favor vote yes, opposed vote no. Pass 17-0. General Fund 101, Amendment Number 22. Changes fund balance $393,300. We have a motion and a second. All in favor vote yes, opposed vote no. Sammy. You're gonna lose your giving the pledge of allegiance privilege.
Good.
General Fund 101, Amendment Number 23. A motion and a second. No comments. All in favor vote yes. Opposed vote no. Pass 17-0. Law Library Fund 114, Amendment Number 2. Have a motion second. No request to speak. All in favor vote yes. Opposed vote no. Passes 17-0. Sanitation Fund 116, Amendment Number 5. Have a motion second, no request to speak. All in favor vote yes, opposed vote no. Passes 17-0. Highway Fund 131, Amendment Number 6. We have a motion and a second. Seeing no request to speak, all in favor vote yes, opposed vote no. Pass 17-0. Landfill Fund 207, Amendment Number 6.
We have a Fund 189 as well.
Did I skip one?
189, number 3.
Okay. Fund 189, Number 3. Motion second, all in favor, voting. Pass 17-0. I had them reversed here, my fault. So now I'm back to Landfill Fund 207, Amendment Number 6. Motion second, no request to speak, all in favor, vote yes, opposed vote no. Passes 17-0. Fund 141, General Purpose Funds, Budget Amendment Number 23. This is for schools. Motion and a second. Any requests to speak? Seeing none, all in favor, vote yes. Opposed, vote no. Passes 17-0. 142, Number 18 is for information purposes only. You don't need to do any action on that. We have come to the conclusion of our special call agenda. A motion to adjourn would be in order. Budget people, they've already signed it, so all in favor of adjourning, leave, opposed, stay here.